Hello, everyone. My name is KJ, and I am the host of Great Talk and Entertainment official channel. And today is my non-spoiler review for the new series on Netflix called The Abandons. This is my non-spoiler review. So if you have not seen this and you heard about it, you've seen it trending, let me be the one to convince you to check out all 7 episodes, which is all available now on Netflix, and give it a shot because I think it's worth it. So if you watch this before you watch The Abandoned, put the comments in below and let me know what you think about this because I would love to hear your opinion on how you feel about the show, whether you liked it or not. Let me know in the comments below if I convinced you to at least check it out. So, again, this is my non spoiler review. Sit back, relax, because I ain't going to spoil nothing about it. I'm just talking about the basics, the idea of it, and that's it. So let's get into it. So this series is an American Western action drama series that has such an amazing plot to the series, that has such surprising plot twists, shocking moments, and these are the kind of stuff that definitely keeps you interesting. Netflix is a Western series that is worth watching. It feels like a true thing, and I think you guys are gonna love it. And it definitely has that soap opera feel to it, especially with the acting. And as is usual, these are some heavy hitter actors and actresses that you may be familiar with from other series or movies, and a lot of these are top notch, actors and actresses that they love to act, and they really bring their A game to it. So I think it's definitely worth checking it out. Now, let me talk about the things that I did not like about it. Let's start with that because I just want to get those out the way, but I'm going to explain to you why I didn't like the certain things about it and all that. So, the first one is the love story. Now, the main love story between some of the main characters made sense to me. Loved watching it, obviously, but there was other love interests that were there, and it seems that they never really touched upon what happened with certain characters' relationship. It seems to be forgotten, or maybe they cut out these scenes due to budgeting when they were editing this series. I don't know. But there seems to be a lot of missing elements when it comes to these love stories because if you watch the at least the first 2 episodes, they set up this idea of there's these characters that were gonna, have a relationship, and then you never see nothing about it. And but they kept it in that episode for some odd reason, and it just doesn't feel right that they did. It seems very odd, and maybe they had to edit some stuff out, when they were editing this series, after they're done filming it. And which that's not a big deal, but it's very like noticeable in a way if you really pay attention to it. And again, this is only 7 episodes, so maybe again, I really believe the key point of this, I believe that they had to cut some scenes out, basically. The second thing that I did not like about it is some of the comedy slash the goofiness or the jokes didn't really execute very right. Had a like a good landing to it. There were some haha goofy moments that were funny to me, but a lot of the times I was like, "What's this? What was the point of that?" Like, it didn't make sense, and I think a lot of it was to just, there to have to fill up the time that they had in each episode. And some of these episodes are a lot longer than a regular episode. So, and I think that's why they did that. And then the third thing I didn't like, and this is the last thing that I didn't like about it, is I would say some of some of these characters were forgotten at times, and it never really made sense to why. But not just like the love story, but just certain characters that you see at least through the first 3 episodes, and none of them were killed off or written off, they were just never talked about. And, those 3 things to me are not a big deal and all, but I think that it's somewhat noticeable when you get past the first 3 episodes. But luckily, with that being said, there was other things in this series that would make you forget about those, that would keep you interested in it. Again, the whole cast did a wonderful job performance, and the dialogue was not dry at all. The dialogue was so good that you would just listen to word, phrase to phrase, sentence to sentence. Like, you could not wait to hear what the next person was gonna say or into a response. Like, it had a real good mindset to it. So it was definitely there was a lot of things that would make up for those 3 things that I didn't like about it. Now, let's talk about the things that I did like about it. Uh, and I hope I say these names correctly, and I apologize if I don't. Liana Hinney and Julian Anderson, those 2 women, they carried this show. What what great actresses. Like, they brought their A game. They were on their GOAT level, like greatest of all times. They were on that type of level when they were just acting, and the dialogue, the emotions that they put in, and it just, man, it felt so passionate, felt so real. It makes you connect, it makes you understand. It was mother versus mother, family versus family, and they really made you understand why. And the way they portrayed these characters was just amazing. But they definitely, both those women carried this show so well on their shoulders together. Like, what a what a duo, what a team. you know, Leanna, she was the good person, she was the hero, and then Julia was the villain in this. Like, they did an awesome job, and that's the one thing I honestly believe that people are gonna really like about this series is those 2 women, and no wonder why they're the star of this show. Like, just amazing. And then number 2 that I liked about it is this felt like a Western show. Like, it just felt very Western. The background, the buildings, the bars, obviously the horses, the outfits just felt like what it would imagine to be like in the Western time era. So, loving that. And then the last thing that I liked about this is the shocking reveals throughout each episode was on point. Like, it really just it brought its A game to it. And this is the stuff that wanna made you wanna hit next. This is the type of shocking reveals, I should say, that made you wanna stay on your couch or in your bed or just, you know, binge watch this. Like, they really brought that, and really good. And that's the one thing I loved about that was that particularly thing too. So definitely worth it. If I had to give this a 1 out of 10, I'm definitely going to give it a solid an 8. Really great. Again, I wish there was more episodes, but they did definitely left it open for a season 2. I'm not sure. I didn't see any announcements from Netflix because they got a lot of big things going on this week for them. But I don't know if there's gonna be a season 2, but I think this show deserves a season 2 because, man, I think there's so much more story that can be told, and I definitely wanna see more what happens next, and I love watching it. It was like the rich versus the poor, and it's really just fun to watch, and this is definitely a series that where you can say art is imitating life, like, wow. But I think it's definitely worth watching at least one time. So, that is my spoiler review, guys. I hope you guys watch it. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Netflix series is The Abandoned. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official channel. Subscribe and hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys and peace